guys, we have a lot of day action going on in the MLB. We have one NBA game going on tonight in the playoffs with the Lakers and the Warriors. We'll start there. Lakers, Warriors. Let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to try to get this out to you guys as quick as possible because of all the day games. So we're going to be running a little quicker today. But Lakers, Warriors, John, game one. Lakers go on the road. They take it. And what is it? You just said 6-0 so far, these teams this season, as far as being at home, down 0-1. Is there a way we can buck this trend tonight, or just staying away from the game?
Can't do it. If the home team loses game one, 6-0 in game two, 5-1 against the spread, Knicks the only team that hasn't covered. We were all over the Lakers in that first game. Great spot. So you had Steph, Clay, Poole. They hit 3 sixes each. The entire Laker team hit 6 threes. They're going to knock them down from the three-pointer. Just AD had a monster. He put up a monster game. 30 points, 23 rebounds. LeBron 22 and 11, although LeBron didn't shoot as well. Looney did get his boards also. Today should be a little different. Just a must game for Golden State's tough trend to buck again. So I don't make it this high, but not high enough to take the dog. Look at last night's game. I know we want to go quick because it's all day games today. It's just one 6 o'clock game. Everything else in baseball's in the afternoon. But just got to touch on Jason Tatum goes 1 for 7 in only 19 minutes, and they still won by 34 points, an absolute blowout with Embiid coming back. So these losing game ones is so big for that favorite, that home team in game two. Just can't touch this one.
Yeah, the three-point shooting for Boston last night was tremendous. That's what got that done with Tatum scoring, just 7 points. But as far as the Golden State, I mean, that's what they went. That was their approach game one. I mean, they just shot the shit out of the ball from the outside, over 53s attempted, 106 shots on the game. Lakers just dominated the paint. They got, almost 23 more free throw attempts than they did. Granted, on the season, it's a team that led the league in free throw attempts. Golden State was bottom in the league in free throw attempts. Two different play styles living outside the three-point line. Lean a little bit to the under in this game. We saw that in the Warriors must-win game 3. It was pretty low scoring. 4 of Lakers' last 5 have gone under this number of 227.5. Game 1 did go to 229, but we saw it last night with a 76. So just a no-show offensively, and Golden State's going to have to limit the Lakers defensively tonight if they're going to want to stay in this. So lean to the under in this game, and then obviously with the trend, a little bit of a lean to Golden State, but I don't want to lay 6. I think this Lakers too good of a team to be up to be a 6-point dog.
Look, they are, but just remember, after that big win, game 1 at Memphis, blown out in game 2. So even they've fallen into this game 2 trap. Again, we love the Lakers in that first game. Lakers playing great defense. Hottest team since the All-Star break.
Absolutely.
Golden State at home had the best record against the spread during the regular season. Just 2-2 straight up, 1-3 against the spread in the postseason now. Just that this second game, just too tough to buck. So we'll stay off this one.
Now we can go to MLB, John. We got a 10-game card. And like we already mentioned, a lot of day games today in baseball. First one we have Cubs at Nationals, and Nationals couldn't win at home this season, now pairing together. 3 of their last 4 at home, the first 2 in this series, and coming off just a 2-1 win, but they get it done. And Cubbies still up there as far as number 2 in the league in hitting, but they're struggling lately. They've lost 5 of 6. It's Tejon versus Corbin. Corbin's been solid. 2 of his last 3 have been quality start. And you have Tejon recovering from the groin injury. He's going to be making his return. So always a good look to take a home dog against a team with a pitcher who is, recovering from an injury, returning for a start back. You're not going to have too much depth. Only concern would be, can the Nationals get a sweep at home? So that's the question mark here. But all the values in Washington.
Absolutely. Give me the home dog. Like you said, when a pitcher is coming back, making that first start off the injured list. We're actually betting against a couple of pitchers today, making their first start off the injured list. Don't expect much out of them. And that's what I'm figuring with Tejon. Corbin, last year was absolutely abysmal. He hasn't been terrible in these last few starts, pitching decent baseball. I mean, look, still not jumping out on him. This is more of a bet. Cubs just aren't scoring. One run to the last couple of or averaging 1 run in the last 2 games. They are hitting 290 versus lefties. They are going to hit Corbin, but Nationals have been fighting. I expect it's just a price, the same thing. Prices were that we took 165 with the Nats.
Then we have Brewers at Colorado, another team who's up 2-0 on the series. Another team looking at themselves as a home dog today. You have Brewers now losing 3 straight, scoring just 3 runs, hitting a $193 this week. Really not getting going with the bats. They do have the pitching edge, though. Wade Miley, he's been fantastic. Talk about a gem. Maybe he's this year's Johnny Cueto. And last 3 starts, allowed 3 runs in 18 innings, 13 Ks, 1 walk. And he'll be going against Seabold, who's been coming out of the pen. Now going to make his first start this season. I've been liking Colorado as the home dog in this series. I have a tougher time bucking it with this trend, but they're hitting close to 300 this week. So 2 teams, the offenses is just completely different sides of the spectrum right now. Rockies are nobody. Little bit iffy backing Seabold. Maybe Wade Miley has a rough time, though, in his course.
He might have a rough time, but he's been pitching good. And I'm not backing Seabold. I want to do it. Brewers can't hit 3 runs in 2 games at Colorado. I could produce 3 runs in 2 games at Colorado at Coors Field. So they're not hitting at all. Milwaukee. What do we got? 193 this week with 3 runs. Just not getting the job done. Colorado starting to score. They had that big game against Arizona, so that's 3 straight for them. But Seabold, he's garbage. He's been coming out of the pen for them. Last year he was with the Red Sox. 0-4, 11, 1-1, 11.29 ERA. Whew. 5 starts. There's 5 starts with the Sox. Can't back that type of pitching. How bad could he be at Coors? We'll get to see today. So
yeah.
Wouldn't lay Miley is a favorite, big pitching edge, just because Brewers aren't hitting, but just no reason to back this Seabold. He won't be in there long. Most of these pitches, a couple of innings in 1 stint, so he'll be more of an opener. So basically a bullpen game for Colorado today. Don't want no part of that in this spot.
Then we have Braves at Miami, one of the later afternoon games. Braves just getting it done on the road this season, 14-3 on the road. They've won 5-6 against the Marlins.
Let me jump back up 1 second, Ben. Sorry about this. So just getting lineups. So making it worse for Rockies is Diaz, Daza, and McMahon will all get rested today for the Rockies. Okay, so just wanted to throw that in for that one.
Yep, even tougher to want to buck that pitching edge. Then we have so this Braves-Marlins matchup. Braves dominating Miami the first 2 games, 20-6, putting up a shitload of runs. They're crushing left-handed pitching, hitting .299. Marlins now lost their last 2 after a little 4-game win streak, but Marlins have the pitching edge today. Luzardo coming off a quality start, got roughed up prior to, had good numbers against the Braves last year, 2-1, 2.181 ERA in 3 starts. Then you have Dodd, who's going to be making his first start since giving up 7 runs against the Padres earlier in April. Clears their pitching edge here for Miami. They were able to steal away the last game in the series against the Braves earlier this week. So it'd be Marlins or nobody here. Tough for the way the Braves bats are going. They're just raking right now. And
the Braves own them. They own this series. They've won 5 of 6. The only game the Marlins won, we got a gift in that game. Braves were 4-0 going into the 9th. We come up with a 5 spot, and we pull out a 5-4 win. So not for that 1/9 inning on a rain delay game, they'd be a 6 out of 6 with them. Obviously, clear pitching edge, as you said, with Luzardo pitching. But just keep in mind, Braves, .299 versus left-hand pitches. Marlins are actually batting .299 versus left-hand pitches also, and that's what Dodd is. I don't expect much out of him, but that's why the line is a pick 'em. If not, Braves been a big favorite. See no value here with either side of the pick. That's what I make the game. Braves, much better hitter, own the team, but we'll start with the pitching edge.
Then we have Twins at the White Sox. White Sox now winning 3 straight after their miserable 10-game losing streak. They've won 7 of 9 in Chicago against Minnesota. Twins have now lost 3 of their last 4. Pitching edge, not one either side too much, really. I mean, Giolito, he's been pretty solid his last 4 starts. 3 of them were quality starts and 2 of them against Tampa Bay. So he's been facing some tough competition. Best team in baseball offensively this season, hanging with them. Then you have Lopez. In the last 2 starts, he's been getting roughed up a little bit. 11 runs in 10 inning pitch. Prior to that, he was dominant. I'm going to give a slight edge to Giolito for how he's pitching right now. White Sox, they're scoring. They flipped it around a little bit. Maybe they finish off the sweep here against Minnesota.
Very possible. And just like you said, I will give Giolito the pitching edge right now. I think we talked about it yesterday. Lopez signs a $73.5 million contract. Yep. pitching great his first few starts this year. Since then, smacked around. You get paid, maybe you get a little lax, and that's what's happening right now. Giolito, as you said, his last 2 starts against Tampa Bay, he's done a good job. He's pitching much better in these last 4 spots. Berger, the team leader in home runs, though, for the White Sox, he left yesterday's game. He's questionable. You can't get too many more bodies off that team. Tim Anderson had just come back off the IL. Haven't got the lineup for that one yet. May expect him to be out, just playing 2 games and now a day game after a night game. So we'll wait for the lineups with that one. But would be the home dog with Giolito and nobody in that game.
Baltimore at Kansas City. Yesterday, Greinke does what he does. 5 shutout innings at home. Royals, yep, especially at home there. Royals now get their 2nd home win on the year, 2-13, miserable. Meanwhile, this Orioles team, just their 3rd loss out of the last 15, 12-3 their last 15, still playing good ball. Pitching edge, this is weird. You have Rodriguez, who was getting absolutely throttled earlier this season. Then he gets 2 nice starts against the Tigers, 10 shutout innings, 15 Ks, 4 walks. Take that for what you will with a grain of salt because it's the Tigers. Lyles, he's just been consistently decent. He hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't been keeping them in games. They've lost all 6 of his starts. In the last 2, 11 runs, 5 homers, and 10 innings pitched. But he has been going deep into games, 7, 8 innings. So some of those not as drastic as those guys giving up 4 or 5 runs in 3, 4 innings. Lean a little bit here to Kansas City. Don't know if they can steal 2 against Baltimore. Don't know if Baltimore is going to hit a little snag on the back end of this trip. Don't believe in what Rodriguez was doing against Detroit. I think we're going to see that take back a little bit. But granted, it's the Royals, so maybe he keeps it going. Royals have been scoring a little bit more the last 2 games. We'll see if that picks up in this game as well.
Talked a little bit about this yesterday. Teams like Tigers, Kansas City, Washington. The number's a little higher than it's supposed to be. Same thing here with Baltimore. My number in this game, I'm looking at like the 70 to 75 range. The price on this game now is up anywhere from 179 to 185. When we say the price, I'm talking about your offshore sports books, guys. So if you go to like the DraftKings has got this game minus 190, take back 160. So that's a 30-cent gap. So we don't talk about that. We've said this before, how DraftKings great for the NBA, especially when they're posting their overnight lines 30 cents out or ahead of time. But in the baseball, really tough to use DraftKings. Once in a while, we'll catch a spot that they'll have a better take back than a spot, but that 20-cent gap, and then the higher you go, the bigger the spread is. But yeah, I don't make Baltimore this big, but they're daring you to bet Kansas City in this spot. Look, Baltimore, they get shut out last night, but they've been playing great baseball on the road. I'm going to give Rodriguez the pitching edge. Yes, the last two starts are against a Detroit Tiger team that I believe is 28th in runs scored per game at 3.5 per game. But those were still 2 solid starts for him. That could be a confidence builder. You're not playing a powerhouse in Kansas City either.
Yeah,
but just not enough to want to. Lyles has given up 11 runs in his last 10 innings over 2 starts. Again, if he was pitching decent ball, you'd say let's take a shot with KC at home to come back on the tail of Greinke's good performance, but not so. He's given up 11 runs, 5 home runs in 10 innings over 2 starts. Don't want to back that with a pissed off Baltimore team after getting shut out tonight.
Seattle at Oakland. Seattle ends up pulling it out in extra innings. A's had a 2-1 lead late last night, didn't hold on. The Seattle team's not really hitting too much. Started picking up a little bit better, winning 3 in a row, scoring 6.3 runs per game. A's just the A's, lost 7 of 8, 3 of their last 17, 3 and 14 at home. Kirby, he's been really solid for the Mariners. He's had 4 quality starts. He's been the most consistent guy in a pretty good rotation. Then you have Rugneski going for Oakland, first start since 2018. Pitching edge, clear as day here for Seattle. This is a team they need to continue to bang up on. I can't give you a reason to bet the A's here, maybe in the last 2 nights, but both those were competitive 1-run games late, and they couldn't hold on. So if they couldn't do that with this massive pitching edge, no reason to touch the A's today.
Yeah, huge pitching. So when we talk, if you're a How to Beat the Bookie member and you're reading the previews, when I say an edge, I'm talking about like a slider edge. Then there's advantage when it's a bigger advantage, and then there's just a pitching mismatch. That's what today is. That's Kirby over Rosinski. That's the only reason I can't bet. Oakland sucks. Oakland is headed for a historical bad baseball season. That terrible team. They're unbackable, miserable at home. Just can't win baseball games. But Seattle right now, besides the huge pitching edge, Mariners are batting 182 this week. As Ben said, last night, that's a 2-1 game. They're losing that game. They get a home run in the ninth to tie it up, put it into extra innings. So they get all those extra runs in the extra frame. But batting 182 this week, league low 218 for the season. Huge number after 2 competitive games. One being their last 3 games, 2 of them Seattle's won. Thank you. In extra innings, the one they pulled out Sunday was huge for us. A big, I think they were a 185 dog for us in that game. But they're playing games that are right there. If you don't get in this game and Kirby's out after 6-7, now you got to rely on that bullpen being a 250 dog. Look at his prices now because it's done nothing but go up. This was 190 on the overnight. Right now, you're looking at 255 at DraftKings, 260 at William Hill, 260 at Westgate. Some of your sports books got it a little lower. Circa's got it at 244. But just a monster number for a team that's not scoring, the worst hitting team. And again, day game after night game. If some guys get sad here for Seattle, I might be forced to take the terrible Oakland team. We'll be looking for those lineups.
Then we have Toronto at Boston, another pitching mismatch. Gausman versus Bayo. You have Gausman, 5 of his 6 starts, been quality starts. He absolutely owned Boston last season. 3-0, 2.65 ERA, 47 Ks, 2 walks, and 6 starts. Last 2 starts, 14 shutout innings, 24 Ks, 1 walk. He has been lights out. Then you have Bayo. He's actually been solid his last 2 starts, 4 runs and 9 2/3. But Toronto loved hitting him last year. 0-2, 7.62 in 3 starts. 25 hits in 13 innings. That's a team that's seen the ball well coming out of his hands. So obviously Bayo was a rookie last year, young guy. Maybe he's getting his stuff a bit more put together. Still clear as day pitching edge. Really tough to go against Toronto in this spot. But Boston's been taking care of business in the series. They've won all 3 so far in the series. The bats are alive. They're scoring runs. Going to be interesting. Not a home dog I want to get involved with. Lean to Toronto in this game, but a massive price for a team who's not hanging around in the series.
Yeah, can't lay this price against that. Boston is crushing the ball. Boston batting 342 this week.
Ridiculous.
Crushing the ball. Now scoring the 3rd most runs per game in Major League Baseball. Bayo, terrible his first start coming back again. His first start coming back from the injured list. Each start for Bayo's just gotten just a little bit better. But look, this is still a pitching mismatch. Definitely can't lay it. Like I said, huge price on the road against the hottest hitting team right now. That isn't called the Tampa Bay Rays, but the Red Sox are crushing the ball. You're in Fenway. This is crazy series. This is how baseball changes, guys. Toronto had come into Boston winning 8 straight from last year, and Boston just flips the switch. They've won 3 here. Tough game. Toronto's an overlay. They've got the pitching mismatch. I'll stay away from this one.
Mets at Detroit. Talked about one of these pitchers returning from the injury that we're going to be going against. Reigning AL Cy Young, Justin Verlander, making his Mets debut. We'll see how he goes. Obviously, he's going to have a little bit of a leash. We'll see how much. Had 1 restart in Double-A. Was solid. 6 Ks, 1 walk, 4 1/3. As far as Rodriguez, he has been good. I mean, 3 of his last 4 starts, quality starts, 2 runs in 26 2/3. Tigers beat him both games in the doubleheader yesterday. Would be Detroit or nobody. Just don't want to back a pitcher coming back, especially one's going to have a leash. And then I like the under in this matchup. Rodriguez has been solid. Tigers can't really hit anyways. Yes, Verlander's going to have a bit of a leash, but I expect this, to be an early, low-scoring game here in Detroit.
Yeah, I expect to lose this game. I'm on Detroit, but I expect to lose it. I always tell you, use the saying, we don't miss the wedding. Just be there for the funeral. We missed the wedding yesterday. I could not back Detroit with Wentz and Lorenzen going just 2 garbage pitches. Wanted to bet against the Mets in the worst way in that doubleheader. Just couldn't do it with those 2 pitches going. Now here comes Rodriguez. We've been on Rodriguez each of his last 3 times out. He's been a monster. Have to back him against Verlander, who's going to be making his first start. look, he made a rehab start, and he pitched well in the rehab start, but he made it at Double-A, not even Triple-A. So he went 4 1/3 innings at Double-A, gave up a couple hits, struck out. What do you have? 6 strikeouts and a walk in 4 1/3. Don't expect him to be around by the 6th inning. Scherzer looked horrible yesterday. I don't even want to bring this up to Ben. Ben wanted to put me on the spot before the season started and talk about the best staffs, and he brought up the Mets. And I said, I don't want to go there. You've got a 40-year-old and a 38-year-old anchoring that staff, and that's what the Mets are getting right now. But yeah, we weren't there for the wedding yesterday. Hope today's not the funeral, but I bet the Tigers in this one. Look, forget the names. Yep. Forget Verlander and Edwin Rodriguez. Look at the stats. Look what Rodriguez has done. Look at Verlander coming back off the injured list. Pitching edge is Rodriguez here. Give me the home dog at this price. I took plus 152 earlier today.
Then we have Pirates at Tampa Bay. So Tampa taking care of business. First 2 games of the series, winning it by a combined 12-2. They've won the last 5 meetings. Pirates, after the big April, they've now lost 3 straight, scoring a total of 4 runs. Rays keep doing it with the bats. Pitching edge there for Pittsburgh a little bit, though. So you have Velasquez, 4 straight quality starts. He's been very solid. 3 runs in 25 innings, 28 Ks, 7 walks. And Eflin, he's been solid as well. They won all 4 of his starts. He's not going too deep. He had the injury earlier. They have him going around 5 innings to start, 7 runs in 21 innings, 21 Ks, 3 walks. Pitching edge, give that to Velasquez. He might take you a bit deeper as well. And then obviously everyone knows what Tampa Bay's lineup's doing right now. So Pirates are nobody at this dog price. Definitely tough to get involved in this game. Betting against a Rays team, what are they now, 15-2 at home? So absolutely ridiculous at home. But price is a price. You got to look at it.
Ridiculous. I mean, they're just ridiculous all over. Just give me 1 sec, Ben. So as I just getting that White Sox lineup, and as I had said, Tim Anderson not in the lineup. Guys, this is what we anticipate, okay, with baseball, day games after night games. So no Anderson. And Berger, who we said leads the team in home runs, has actually been placed on the IL. So 2 of the White Sox guys that two White Sox regulars in the lineup, they're both out today. We'll talk more about that later. Pirates I went on them last night. We took a big number against McClanahan. Yes, one of the best pitchers on the best team at home. Keller been just doing just enough. He's been pitching solid baseball. Same theory here. Velasquez been pitching real good baseball. Day game after a night game. Ramirez and Brandon Lowe sitting out for Tampa Bay. Pitt's getting everybody in there. Pitt now lost 3 in a row, not hitting the ball well these last 3 games, but they were on fire prior to this. I'll go. They go there today with Velasquez, like I said, who's pitched real good baseball last few starts. They'll avoid the sweep. We took a big plus 185 on this game. This game has since nosedived down to 165.
The last game on the card, Angels at Cardinals. No Mike Trout in this one. For the Halos, you have Ganning versus Flaherty. Ganning's actually come back, and he's been pretty decent. They've won 2 of his last 3 starts, 7 runs and 15 1/3. Another one of those guys just going about a steady 5 innings. And then you have Flaherty. He was roughed up his last start. He has been a bit better at home. This is an Angels team starting to hit pretty well. They're getting it together on this trip. No Mike Trout. Don't love that. And this St. Louis team just can't figure it out. I can't bet this Cardinals team right now. Don't want any part of it. Keep getting priced as, the NL Central favorite, and they're just not playing like it. As far as that goes, I want no price to them as a favorite, no interest whatsoever.
Sharps have been chasing St. Louis for the last 3 days. They got to break the streak. They got to break the streak. They got to break the streak. If Trout was in, I was prepared to take a big price with the Angels again today. But being that he's out, this game has just gone crazy. This game was 140 overnight. It's up as high as 172 at Circa right now. Again, they're just chasing it, and now compiled with Trout being out. Tremendous overlay. Flaherty got hit pretty good his last time out. Like you said, Canning's been decent, but with Trout out, I'm not gonna buck the trend here. But yeah, it's Angels and nobody. Cardinals are a bad team right now.
No, playing really bad. We'll see what Ganning brings to that one. Guys, we have the couple of MLB dog bets so far. Nothing in the NBA tonight. Obviously, anything subject to change, maybe at halftime or anything else. A lot of lineups coming out today as well.
Halftime could be a look. Unless this game was to go much higher, I could only be interested in the Lakers. It's just tough to buck that trend. That home team, after they lose game one, they've been money in game two, and we're all about that. That's it, Ben. Let's get out of here. We got a lot of stuff to go through. Get ready for the weekend. Big afternoon of baseball. Guys, follow us, share us, make us popular. We're going to be a lot of good information here.
Yep, guys. Comment, like, subscribe. Going to be getting this 12 o'clock Eastern right now. I'm going to try to get this out before these games start. So, yeah, see you guys soon. Let's make some money.
All right.